What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with another Alanis Morissette song, and I am grateful once again to Yvonne, who has shared a great many things, including some albums and artists that waited a long time before I even began them. I only just recently started going through Gordon Lightfoot. But yeah, she shared Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill album a while back. We went through the full thing. Then I reacted to, I think, a non-album tune, or at least a tune that wasn't on that album, and we're back for another one of those, and that is Uninvited. So the concept is clear enough, the idea of being extended an invitation, but then having that canceled or rescinded for one reason or another, whether that's because of the actions on the part of the invitee or a changed attitude on the part of the inviter. I would guess probably some combination thereof, maybe both. But yes, of course, this may not be a literal invitation to a party or to the person's house or to some social event, but could be the rescinding or cancellation of an emotional invitation to bring the other person into your life, and then for whatever reason you've changed your mind and you are uninviting them. So yes, it sounds like a complicated situation, and I wonder on what level of literal or figurative the title might manifest, and I would guess it probably works on multiple levels, but I'll see what I can catch on a first listen. This is Alanis Morissette. The track is Uninvited, and in the moment I'm forgetting if this does come from a different album or if it's a non-album track, but either way, it's not on Jagged Little Pill. I'm quite certain of that. But yes, Alanis Morissette, Uninvited.
But you're not allowed. You're uninvited, unfortunate slide. Must be
make sure that's over before I interrupt that masterpiece. Incredible, like a stunning track. So my first thought as it was in the first couple minutes is that like, wow, this feels more like an art pop tune with, piano led sonics, not unlike something Tori Amos would do, or maybe even like Lorena McKennitt. Although, again, my knowledge of both of those artists, but especially Lorena, is still very limited. But yes, it didn't feel like the edgy alternative rock that characterized most of, not all of, Jagged Little Pill, but for most of that album. That's the general label that I would put it under. It's sort of like creative pop lyrics meets edgy alternative rock sonics. This one had this real, like, elegant but haunting sweep to it, a bit of a like horror movie vibe, and then eventually it kicks in, and it did have an alternative rock sonic atmosphere, but almost like an alternative symphonic rock with these different layers of strings, I think violins, cellos, and contrabass, but it still had a lot of that haunting energy and a bit of a like horror edge to it. Now, lyrically, that's interesting, because at first, okay, she seems like she's saying, like, she's excited or enticed by the idea of someone being fascinated with her, and she's, like any hot-blooded woman, she finds that somewhat compelling or interesting, but she seems to also be criticizing the guy for saying, like, oh, you think that you've had love like mine before, and that's why you want this. But the implication, I think, being that she's saying, like, you have no idea, like, you've never had love like mine, and the fact that you're thinking that way makes me want to uninvite you, makes me want to pull back from this. But by the very end, she says, like, what was it, that it's not that I'm saying you're unworthy, I just need to deliberate here. So it sounds like she's still in the process of trying to think through what would be the best approach, and even though this is on one level very clearly about another person and the degree to which she's going to let him in emotionally and interpersonally and intimately, it's also about her and what she wants in general from life, from her experiences, and what she wants another person to have for framing before any of that's possible. But again, it sounds like she's still sorting it through, so there's a bit of uncertainty about it, which I suppose that works with the haunting and a bit intense, like, symphonic atmosphere where there's potentially high drama, and maybe she's a bit conflicted. Again, she likes the idea of someone being very into her and, being interested in that kind of connection, but she seems like she's sort of wavering as to whether she's really extending an invitation or not, and then telling him literally, look, it's not even so much about you and your qualities, but it's maybe more about what you're expecting, what you think you know about me, or what my love is, or what this could be, and I still need to figure this out before anything happens. So yeah, it's a really interesting song thematically or lyrically, and again, maybe there's some moments I missed lyrically, maybe I'm not seeing some of the lines right, but it's like being inside someone's emotionally conflicted and psychologically dramatic mind as it relates to another person. Now, of course, we don't get the other perspective here, so that's always an interesting point when a song is speaking about a dynamic, but you're kind of only getting it from one side. Sonically, I love it. Again, very artsy and elegant with the piano, but haunted, a bit unsettling, a bit edgy, and then it breaks into this guitar heavy but also string heavy symphonic rock with still some of that alternative 90s energy in terms of the overall atmosphere. Just a really compelling tune. Absolutely loved it. Thank you again to Yvonne. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.